Unmuted Voices, the podcast, Season 1, Voices from the Womb. I'm your host, Lexi, and this is a space where the silenced will speak, the stories will flow, and the healing will begin. Each episode, we're going to share real, raw, and powerful experiences of Black women and families navigating Black maternal health to include pregnancy, motherhood, trauma, grief, loss, and everything in between. Because we were never meant to suffer quietly.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unmuted Voices. This is a podcast where it's a space to break generational silence, uplift raw, untold stories of Black women. I'm Lexi, and this season, Voices from the Womb, we're going to be centering on Black maternal health and experiences that are real, unfiltered, and ours. Today, I am joined by my childhood friend who's in her third trimester. We're going to be talking about advocacy, boundaries, joy, getting ready to meet the baby. So, for listeners, please take care while listening. Remember, this is lived experience. We are not telling you medical advice. Do not come after us. We're just here to share our stories with you. Oh, hello. How are you?
Hey, I'm good.
This is
Feeling good,
good. This
feeling
is good. All right.
good.
So before we start off, I want to kick it off first by asking you a few questions. Is there anything that is off limits today? What's your preferred name for the baby? And how would you like to be introduced?
Well, you can call me Sunny. And the baby's name is Caden, Kobe, Anthony, Terry. But Caden for short, but Peanut, Nugget, all that, all those cute little nicknames, those all work too. And nothing's off limits. I'm
Okay.
pretty open book, so let's do it.
All right. I'm ready. So I'm so excited to have you. What made this pregnancy feel real to you? Like, when
Um,
did you know?
So the heartbeat, that appointment at either 12 or 16 weeks, um, I mean, it's one thing to see, two lines on a pregnancy test, but it's another thing
Mhm.
to be like, oh, boom, 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 boom. Like there's a heartbeat in there. There's somebody in there. That little thing that only looked like a peanut to begin with, it's got
Yeah.
a heart. So yeah, that was probably the realest moment for me. It's definitely a couple tears were shed, and
Aw.
it was some good moments.
That's good. How did your fiance feel about it?
He was so excited. I mean, he's, been playing it cool and been my rock and my support throughout everything.
Mhm.
But I look over when when we have those little moments and, you see a straight face turn into a smile. And so I'm like, yeah, I know you excited. It's okay, boo.
Yeah, they always try to be so tough. I don't understand why. Like, it's okay to show a little bit of emotion.
Just a little vulnerability. It's okay,
If you could text your first trimester self one message, what would it say?
Ooh. Mm. Um, I mean, it's a common saying that they say when it comes to really challenging yourself and learning about stepping into your new self and growing, but get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And
Mm,
that's and I mean, like, you're gonna be uncomfortable physically, you're gonna be uncomfortable mentally and emotionally, you're gonna be uncomfortable with your friends and your family, you're gonna be uncomfortable with the things that brought you comfort before, um even things as simple like or as complex as your relationship. Like, your relationship is going to get uncomfortable in some moments. You're going to be
yes.
challenging yourself and your partner, and, you got to just be okay with that. So, starting from first trimester, if I could text myself and say, girl, get comfortable being uncomfortable, I'd have been like, all right, let me strap in.
No, I love that. I never thought of it that way. Get uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. You are absolutely right. Well said. I don't even have a follow up for that. Who's on your care team and how did you choose them?
Ooh, so first and foremost, my partner. He is my number one on my care team. My
Mhm.
fiance, love of my life. We've been together almost 4 years now, and that was the best decision I ever made. Um, My care team then goes, I would say, extends out to my father. My father and I are very, very close. He checks on me every week and even sometimes just randomly, hey, how's the baby? How are you? How are
Cool.
things going? Friends and some family too. But from an external point of view, I do see Dr. Gleaton here in Charleston, South Carolina, number one OBGYN office for the past 3 years running. I didn't even know that going in. I just researched. It was really important for me to have a Black or
Mm.
of color um, OB because we need those advocates when it comes to the medical field when we're having babies. Like Black women having babies are dying 3 times as often as our white counterparts. So it was really important for me to have that advocacy there. So, but yeah, partner, family, and friends, and then my OB, Dr. Gleaton, has been amazing. It's a wonderful practice, beautiful, clean, and just very, very uplifting, and
That's
God fearing
amazing.
too. So,
That's amazing. That is so amazing. Um, Describe a time that you felt heard. What did they do right?
okay, so since this pregnancy, um, I've got to say, I mean, my partner, like, I've been going through so many emotions and so many different ebbs and flows. I feel like I'll come to a moment where I'm craving something just for a week and then it goes away. But he's prepared for the next week to bring me that next thing. And that's just a small example of it. But I feel like, when I brought some concerns, whether they were anxiety ridden or about the baby or not, I did feel heard by my partner. And I think that that's the number one and most important person that you've got to have on your team. So, but then also, like, when it comes down to my OB's office, it's it's a different world, medicine, and I loved science for a long time, but and I know all about babies and things, once they're born, but this process was completely new to me.
Yeah.
So, my concerns, anytime that I felt, afraid, this exam that I just had, my growth exam, was because I haven't gained a lot of weight. I actually lost 12 pounds in my first trimester. And then, I'm currently at the weight that maybe 10 pounds different from what I was before. So I was worried that, maybe my baby's not getting the nutrition or the nourishment that they're supposed to be getting at this point. And my doctors hurt me, they saw me and they, set up some appointments and, gave me some feedback, gave me some iron pills to take and all the, whatever it is that I have to do. But definitely my partner and my OB, I do always feel heard by them.
That's really good. It's important to feel heard by your team. I also have a Black
Mm.
OB. I actually found her after I had my first miscarriage, and it was important for me. I had a Jewish doctor before, a white male Jewish doctor, and it's like light and day. So I that resonates with me so, so much. I totally understand. It is
Mm.
important to have a great care team. What are the top 3 questions you bring to every visit? Like, are there, like, some top questions that you bring, or, like, what are some questions that you'll ask?
When it comes to my visit, I mean, I just want to know, am I normal? And as crazy as the question as that sounds, because every child is different, and every pregnancy is different, I just want to know, like, what can I do? I'm a big feedback, nerd. Like, okay, what can I do better? Like, I know that, do I not have enough amniotic fluid? Okay, I need to drink a little bit more water. Okay, bet. All right, so you need to get your prenatal stretches in. Cool. Add some iron. Got you. But yeah, that's the number one question, is like, okay, what else do I need to do? Like, where do I need to
Hmm,
step up a little bit differently or show up differently, so that I can make sure that I'm, having a happy, healthy pregnancy. Yeah, that's the main question at the end of the day. That's the only question that I walk away making sure that I ask every time.
that's really good. Yeah. I think for me, it's interesting, like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, my last pregnancy, I don't think I asked many questions. I think after going through the first one, for me, it was just like, "How big is he?" Like,
Mhm.
with this last one, because it was like, "I'm big, so how big is he?"
Yeah.
um, because yeah, I was trying to VBAC, and if he exceeded a certain weight, I would not have been able to attempt the VBAC. So
Right.
it was
Right.
important for me to always know that. But that's cool. So I want to get into some mind, body, and support. Like, if you could describe your first trimester, I mean, excuse me, your third trimester in one word, why that word?
Mm, my third trimester. So I'm in week 30, so I'm still fresh in my third trimester. Um, but prepared. I gotta say, I'm prepared more mentally, physically, emotionally. And I have been preparing for T3 since T1. So like literally and I remember talking to my fiance about, setting up the nursery and doing this and doing that. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, look, come this third trimester, I'm on my butt. Okay. Like I'm laying down because I know that's gonna be the hard part. So I'm gonna just let
Mm-hmm.
my body do what it needs to do, and that's gonna be it. So, minimal effort in the third trimester, but I'd say I
Okay.
was very prepared. I'm like very, I mean, you say it all the time, Virgo energy. I'm a planner, I'm a lister. Like
Yep.
I've been working on my baby shower since month 2. Like and it's in 2 weeks. So like
It's
I'm
the
so
typical
prepared, but
us.
I'm so ready. Like,
That's good.
I've kept a lot of focus on being ready during this time just to
That's
relax
good.
because I'm not good at relaxing.
That's a good thing. Yeah, we don't know how to. It's another story for another day. Um, what's one physical or emotional shift that no one warned you about, and how are you coping with it?
So I'd say an emotional shift that I've had, which is, was surprising for me, is my family. And you and I have talked about this before, but I mentioned, I'm very close to my dad, not so much with my mom, and that wasn't what I was hoping during this time period of my
Mm,
life. And it feels like other members, like even my siblings, have I've felt some distance there. This is the moment of my life that I want them there the most.
mhm.
Um, so that's been probably one of the biggest challenges that I wasn't prepared for. I'm doing some writing. I still see my therapist. I've been with this therapist for about a year, since October of last year. Look, I'm telling
Mhm,
you, it is so
mhm.
necessary. Black people, like,
Talk
church is
that
not the
talk.
only therapy. Please
Talk
understand.
that talk.
I
Let
love the
them
Lord,
know.
but go see your doctor. There's some things that you gotta heal. And, my therapist really helped me, Dr. Hicks, she really helped me work through some personal things that I had going on, helping me to even voice my own needs and my boundaries. Boundaries are one of the biggest things that I
Yeah.
have trouble with. And
Mhm.
it's got to be, one of the biggest changes that I've made in the past 9 months, because it's not just me anymore. It's not just me.
It
So,
isn't. Yeah, therapy is actually one of the most important things for me as well. Before my pregnancy, during my pregnancies, after my pregnancies.
mhm.
Um, yeah, that healing is extremely essential. So I center my self care around therapy and prioritizing that and making sure that that's a part of loving on me is the healing part.
Yeah.
So, no, definitely, I hear that.
Hmm.
Like, people, listen, if you don't have a therapist in today's world, get one. There's so much that is going on. Therapy is necessary. I know a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't work for me. And you might not find the right therapist the first time, and maybe not even the second time. But, as you see from both of us, we highly encourage it. Like, having a therapist and having that person be a part of your support team as well is extremely important, especially in dealing with maternal health experiences. So let's shift gears a little. Let's talk birth plan. What's in your birth plan? What are some of those
You want me to pull up my 20-page slides,
non-negotiables?
girl?
She said she got a 20-page slide. When she told me this when we were talking before the recording, I was like, what? A slideshow. Like, I know we're organized, but sis, you organized.
I'm so ready. I told you, prepared. So my birth plan has, I mean, basically it's boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a really big test for me to, put that on paper and then not
Mm,
have it just apply to me, but also to my baby and to my
yep.
family, my partner. So what's in it? I mean, I've got some general information like, my health cards, my ID, my fiance's health card and ID. If he faint while he's in the hospital, I need him to take care of him too. I've
Mm-hmm.
got just some general background stuff about me, some health things that need to be known. Because God forbid I don't go to the hospital that I'm planning to go to for whatever reason. I need whoever's taking care of me to know. I've got also our like preferences with the birth. So I want to be as natural as possible, as long as possible until it's time to, until I get to the very point where I'm like, okay, epidural me. Like just
Mm-hmm.
do me with the pain management. And it also has like my visitors list. So who is welcome to be there when I'm in a hospital? Who can be there while I'm in labor and who can be there after the labor when the baby's here? And, the while I'm in labor list is very short. And it's okay. That's okay.
It is.
Because it's about my comfort. As much as I'd love for, my partner's, parents and, them to be there. We don't have that relationship, as of yet. So and we'll get there eventually. But for now, I want to make sure that I can be my most vulnerable and most dirty and most nasty and, crazy looking self. And not feel judged. But
I felt that.
but yeah, but
Let
yes,
me
got that
be
list
me.
and then huh?
It's like, let me be me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and then the last page is the rules that we're gonna have once we get home. So,
Okay.
like, how long before anybody can come to the house? What are the requirements if anybody does come to the house? Don't think that you're just gonna show up. Oh, let me hold the baby for you. Oh no, I can hold the baby for myself. What you about to do? What you about to do for
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
And yeah, and that was weird to think about, but like, if you really support me, if you really support the baby and support, my family, then it shouldn't be nothing for you to either bring a dish or do a quick little chore and help us out a little bit, show me some real love.
Yep. Absolutely. I felt that.
Yeah.
Um, How will you plan for or like decide if for any reason, like your doctor says, we think you need an induction or C-section may be the way that you have to go? Like, how did you plan for anything that will not be within that slideshow?
Mm, so anything that's not in it, and a C-section is part of what's in it. Like if
Okay.
necessary, like I'm okay with it. If I do need to be induced, there's certain drugs that I do not want to, be taking part in. Um, but I think, like I said, the doctor's office, the OB that I'm with, um, they hear you. They really do hear you. And, I'll be sending my, birth plan over to them, but I'm participating in this group called Centering.
Okay.
And it's basically, so it's called the Epic Center. And the office is basically focused on making sure that we are centering ourselves in this process.
Mm-hmm.
And every month, instead of doing just me and my partner for our visits, there's a group of about 8 women, 8 of us, all pregnant, all due within the same month. And we're just talking about our experiences and our frustrations and the things that get us excited, the questions that we have with a midwife and a nurse in the room. And it's one of the best things that I could ever have as support. But they know me, And so I trust my team. I trust those people who have been listening to me for months talk about, the things that make me nervous or whatever it is. So,
No, that totally makes sense. Are there any traditions that you're going to bring into like the birth or those first few days of the baby coming?
as far as traditions, I'm not aware of any traditions that my parents had. But we did just talk about this at centering too. The last session was like okay, what are some traditions you're going to bring to your family? And one of the things that I think we did so well was birthdays. When it comes to celebrating your birthday, you are celebrated from the top of the hour, I mean 11:59:59, all the way to 11:59:59. So you get to, you get families coming in and enjoying you in the morning, maybe a couple gifts, a little breakfast cake. You get to figure out what you want for breakfast, wearing your favorite outfit, oh, let me do your hair up the way that you like it, whatever it is. That whole day is about you. What do I want for dinner? What do I want to do for activities for the day? And I think that that's a really good way that we help to celebrate that person and make them feel special and, just make that day all about them. Um, so that's definitely a tradition that I want to bring to my family. As far as on the day of, I definitely want a picture with, me and my baby. As soon as we hit that skin to skin, I already told my fiance that's important to me. I said, I need to know, I need to see that baby. Um, but but yeah, I'm besides that, it's eventually maybe on baby two, we'll get to videotaping, the process. But I think for right now, we're just gonna keep it PG and, just focus on each other and the energy that we're bringing into the room.
That's beautiful. And sometimes, honestly, there is so much going on that nobody got time. I give it up to content creators, influencers, because I did not have time to focus on my phone
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the birth giving process. Like it just, there is really no time.
yeah. A little bit of
All right, so we're going to do like a quick lightning round. I want you to finish this sentence. Best advice I got was
good, better, best. Never rest until good be better and better be best.
okay.
I
That was
don't
some good
remember who
advice.
quoted it. You can look it up. But it's one of my favorite quotes, and it keeps me on track with, always improving myself.
Okay. A myth I'm unlearning is
Black people don't do therapy. That's it was crazy
period.
to me to see how much breakthrough
What
I
what these
had.
young kids doing? Clock that,
Duh.
clock that. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Uh-huh.
clock that T.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever they be doing. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Hospital bag non-negotiable is.
Ooh, I'm gonna need my Bath and Body candle. That's my non-negotiable. I need a good scent. I need a good aroma, good
Mm-hmm.
vibes all through
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
hospital trip.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I'm gonna ask this somewhat again. But one question every black mom should ask at their prenatal visit is
What can I do? What can I do differently? What do I need? What are some things I can be looking into right now? Like what's the next step? Like just be aware of yourself and be open and vulnerable to change and taking in that feedback and really using it to really have the best pregnancy possible.
yeah, and that's what it is. So as we come to a close, like it's been really great having you. I wanted to ask you, have you written yourself a letter? So, when you get to that point of getting ready to have baby boy
Hmm.
and, it's getting hard. I know you want to try to have like the most natural birth, the most naturalist birth as possible.
Hmm.
Have you thought about writing yourself a letter to help push you through and help kind of get you over that line so that you could talk nicely to yourself when you're like, I can't do this anymore.
I mean, my man is my love letter to myself. So
Mm,
that's probably the closest thing that I got. I did not think about writing something for myself though. Um I think that's definitely some good feedback. You gonna have me making another list.
mm.
I
So,
don't need another
the
list.
doula that did not show up for me,
Oh,
whole nother
me
story,
either.
different day. That was one of her suggestions when she was somewhat doing her job. But it was something that I liked, that it was like, you can write some affirmations to yourself, um speak nicely to yourself, because it's a way for us to love on ourselves during that time too, and support ourselves during that time.
Yeah, one minute at a time. That's what
Hmm.
my friend said. She's one of the girls in centering, and She was like, I can do anything for a minute. So if I just keep telling myself 1 more minute, 1 more minute.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, that's gonna be a lot of minutes, but 12 hours of labor, but I got this. That's all
You
right. That's
do.
all right.
You do. We
But yeah, I
wish
like that.
you a safe, healthy birth to you, the baby, to daddy. Hopefully, he does not pass out. Um, like you
He'll
said,
be all right.
we won't have to get him medical attention. But you guys got this. You will be blessed, and you have a lot of prayers coming from this side. So, again, thank you. This is Unmuted Voices. If this resonates with you, please share it with an expecting mom. Leave a review, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, TikTok. If you have a story to tell, please feel free to reach out, comment below or email us. Like, your voice also should be heard while you kind of go through your journey. So thank you again for your time, your energy, you guys. I appreciate the love that you may be pouring into this as well. Until next time, bye.